All right, welcome to part 3 of the myfreevectorart.com pen tool crash course. Now, in this third and final part, you'll be following along as I draw something that I'll actually use on the myfreevectorart.com website. Now, for this example, I quickly sketched the head of a cartoon kitty on a piece of paper, took a picture of it with my phone instead of scanning it, emailed it to myself, saved it to my desktop. And what we'll be doing is we'll be loading it into Illustrator, tracing it, adding some colors, making the lines look real nice, and all that good stuff. So without further ado, let's get started. So I'm going to go ahead and click and drag on the kitty artwork and load it into Illustrator. All right, we're gonna Command minus to zoom out, and we're gonna shrink this guy like so. Hold Command and space to get the magnifying glass, and to zoom out you can hold Command space and Option or Alt, and you'll get the zoom out magnifying glass. So just so you know. Okay, we got this guy loaded up. He's sized. We're gonna lock him. We're gonna lock the layer that he's on, start a new layer, and just get started with the drawing. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and start with the head. Okay. And I'm just gonna do just real simple basic shape of the head, and I'm gonna go right now at this point I'm gonna flip the stroke and the fill color, so I just have the stroke going on while I'm working on the outline of his head. And there we go, right about there. And as you can see, I'm not following my trace completely because I'm gonna go back and fix the outline here. Okay, now if you notice that if I hold the Command key, I get the black arrow. Now if I wanted to edit this particular point, I couldn't do it with the black arrow, because if I click on this point, I'm clicking the whole shape and I'm moving the whole shape. So what do I need? I need the white arrow tool. So I'm going to select the white arrow tool and then select the pen tool again. So now when I hold Command, I got the white arrow tool. So now I can just go in and fix some of the curves that didn't look so great before. And there we go. We have a nice head shape for this cute kitty. All right. Let's see. At this point, I'll probably move on to his whiskers, which we can just do real quick by doing a like so. Kind of got to pay attention to those points because we kind of want them, we don't want them sharp, so kind of gonna give them rounded points here. Again, don't worry about not being perfect because we can always go back and fix it later. And this is actually a habit that took me a while to get used to. Just undo that. I got to admit, I'm kind of a perfectionist, so for a long time I would just make sure the paths were right, all the points were in the perfect position, and it was just a big waste of time. So I just really tried to break the habit of trying to be perfect all the time, and I think I finally got out of it. So now I usually don't have any problems with going back and fixing the curves like I'm doing right here, as you can see. And it's a little bit easier to do when you have the whole shape in place. Okay. Let's go ahead and do the other side. Let me go ahead and switch the color of this layer so we can see the paths and points a little bit easier. We'll go with black. Okay, rounded point, rounded point, rounded point. Move the canvas a little bit, rounded point, bam. Okay. Now, if I hold the Alt or Option key, and then if I hold it before I close the path, it gives me an independent arm. So it's not going to affect this arm right here. Let me show you what I mean. I'll undo. And if I don't hold Alt or Option before I close this path, all of a sudden I grab that first arm. See what's going on here? And now I lose that first line segment that I put down. So undo, hold Alt or Option, then close the path. And then now you get an independent arm like that. And then we can go back and adjust it with the white arrow tool just to kind of clean it up a little bit. Okay, let's fix these curves so they look nice. And I think that looks good. Looks pretty good. Guess we can make this rounded point a little bit fatter. There we go. Good. Okay. Let's see, I guess it couldn't hurt to do his little cowlick or whatever you want to call this thing. His hairdo. His spiky hairdo. Catlick? I don't know. Here we go. This one was real easy to do. Now, if I see how I got both arms stretching out here. Now, if I stop stretching and then I hold Alt or Option, all of a sudden I get an independent arm. Then I let go of the mouse, and there you go. I kind of have this nice arm set up to go into this closing path point. So again, hold Alt or Option, and bam. Beautiful. All right. We're going to go ahead and fix these curves a little bit. Let's make this a little bit more pointy. Probably want to bring them closer together. There we go. Zoom in. Adjust these points. Okay. Looking good. All right. Now we can go ahead and work on the ears. Now don't worry about which shapes are floating on top of other shapes for now. We can always go back and fix their arrangement. It's all about getting this done as quickly as possible. Oh, let me show you what I did there. Okay, so I went like this, and then I decided I didn't want this arm anymore. So what I did was I held Alt or Option and then clicked on the point, and the arm disappeared. So now I can just click on the closing path point. Oop. See, I didn't hold Alt or Option, so now I affected my first arm. So hit undo, hold Option or Alt, and there you go. Now let's go ahead and fix these curves. And that looks pretty good. Okay. Now, to save time, sometimes you can just go ahead and duplicate the shape by, just do that again. With the black arrow tool, hold Alt or Option when you're hovering over the shape, and then you get the double arrows, and then just click and drag, and then you make a duplicate. If you press O, you'll get the reflect tool. So we're going to hit O, and now we're basically we're mirroring this shape. Now, a lot of times we can just do this if we have a similar shape, for example, or in this case, we have an ear on the opposite side. So we can just do this here, kind of get get it placed roughly in where it's supposed to go, and just adjust the points like so. Big time saver. Big, huge time saver. Okay. Now, let's just go ahead and we'll do his nose and his eyes. Okay, rounded corner triangle basically. Real basic shape here. Sweet. It might be a little crooked, so we'll just rotate it. Or we can skew it. Doesn't matter. Maybe we can give it a little bit more depth by making some parts of it more curvy. So it's kind of looks like it's facing a certain way rather than just flat on his face. Okay, that works. Might as well bring it to the right a little bit so it kind of looks like, yeah, that looks good. Okay. Now, since his eyes are pretty much straight up ovals, we'll just do this. It's not cheating. It's just saving time. And if you want it to look a little bit less perfect, you can always go ahead and adjust the points with the white arrow tool, or make some parts a little more wonky than the others, if you know what I'm saying, just so it doesn't look like a perfect oval. Looks a little bit more hand drawn, I suppose. Okay. Now, I think at this point we can probably yeah, I think at this point we can probably start filling in the shapes. So let's go ahead and start with his face. We'll pick a nice, let's say, blue color. Nice, kind of washed out blue. That looks good. We can get rid of this white stroke now. Okay, Do the same for his whiskers. We just select both whiskers. Eyedropper tool, select the face. Probably want to put it behind his face. So we'll select both whiskers, arrange, send to back. Okay. Damn. Okay, I'm running a little bit long on this video, so we're going to try and speed it up here. Send to back, Command Shift, left bracket. Select his little hairdo, eyedropper tool, select that. We'll just go ahead and swap the colors here. Let's see, we'll go with a light blue. Oops. Lighter blue. Oh, come on. What is going on here? There we go. Okay. Add a little bit of green so it's not so bright and in your face. And we'll swap the colors here. Give him a nice little pink nose. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and add an outline to his head. So we're going to just give him a straight up black outline. Okay. Now, fatten up the stroke a bit. Now, one of the things I like about Illustrator is you can adjust the width of this stroke. So let's go ahead and give it a pink, or we'll go with magenta color so we can kind of see what's going on. And the shape builder tool, no, the width tool right here is what you're going to use. So I'm going to zoom in right on his chin right here. And we can just click right there and you can just get in there and open up that stroke right there. Right there. We'll do it right here. Oops. Lovely. Actually, maybe we should widen it back up a little bit right here. Okay. Looks good, huh? All right. Do the same. Add a stroke. Fatten it up. Width tool. Pull it out here. Bring it in there. Pull it out here. Bring it in there. And it's looking a little bit more natural. Okay. Pull it in there. Bring it out here. If I can zoom in a little bit. Oh, there it was right there. Okay. Pull it out. Bring it in. Bring it in right here. Pull it Alrighty. Okay, for this particular part, we are going to give it a stroke, bump it up, but we are going to delete this segment. So go ahead and get the white arrow tool, select that segment, delete, just like that. And since these ends are a little bit squared off, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the stroke panel, just double click stroke so you get all the options. The cap, you want to get a round cap just like that. Simple. Okay, go back to the width tool and we'll just bring it in right here. Bring it out right here. Bring it back in here. Easy. Easy peasy. Okay. Give these two ears a stroke. Bump it up. Bump it up a little bit more. Right on. Okay. Probably just bring it in here. And we're done with that one. Easy. Bring it in here. Done. Okay. Now what I want to do is just give I guess we can do it this one. We'll just start a line just like this. Cut that off. Bring another one back down here. Okay. Hold Option Alt so we get that independent arm. There we go. We'll cut this, Command X. Select the ear, then go to paste in front. So it's in front of the ear, but behind his head. Okay, we're going to copy it because we're going to use the same shape in a second. So we're going to copy it. But for this one, we're going to get rid of the stroke and then grab the color from his nose. Now we're going to select that pink part of his ear and then paste in front what we just copied, which is the same shape. But this time we are going to get rid of the fill. Oops, you got to select it first. Get rid of the fill. And then get rid of this part of the black stroke. So just select that segment like that. Okay. So now you have this part of the black line and then it's going behind the face right here. Bump up the stroke, put a cap on it, get the width tool, and just bam, right there. Look how beautiful that looks. It's just awesome. And it didn't take any time at all. So why don't we just try copying and pasting or duplicating that. Oops, cut that, select this ear, go to paste in front. Now we want the mirror tool again, so we'll hit O, reflect it, and we'll just adjust it accordingly. All right, I think we are looking good. We just got to finish his mouth and we are in business. I'm going to rotate his ear up a little bit so we can kind of see his cowlick in front right there. Might as well give his nose a little bit of a stroke too. Okay. Now, one thing we can do is if we want to save the profile of this stroke, like where it's fat and where it's thin, we can go down here under stroke where it says profile and hit this little button that says add to profiles. And you can name it whatever you want. I'm just going to leave it how it is with profile. Now we can go to any shape that has a stroke and select that same profile that we just saved, which is this one. And sometimes it might work out, sometimes it won't. You can always click this button to flip it. It doesn't make a difference. Doesn't look too great in my opinion. So we can either try bringing down the fatness, or we can just adjust the width. Nope, not right there. Nope. That looks good. Okay. Now, let's just go ahead and hit Command 3 to hide this shape so we can see what's under again. We're just going to go ahead and draw his mouth here. Option, Alt, click right there, Option. There we go. We'll get rid of this fill. Let's see. Bump up the stroke. Give it a cap, a round cap. And then we're going to use the width tool to play with the width here of his mouth. And it's looking good. Draw his teeth. And we'll give his teeth a nice little shade of yellow. There we go. Go ahead and duplicate this guy. Reflect it. Bring this to the front. Okay, select both teeth, bump up the stroke. Might need to adjust this a little bit here because you can see it's peeking out. Okay. We'll go ahead and do his little whisker follicles, like so. And then we go to show all, so we get back our face shape. Maybe we should bring the thickness of this guy down a little bit. Yeah, it's looking a little better. At this point, we can go ahead and hide the sketch layer, so we just see the drawing. And this ear's looking a little bit too shooting out there too much, so let's just bring it back just a little bit. Maybe widen it. Maybe we should rotate it just a little bit. There we go. It's looking a little bit better. It's looking good. Yeah, I think that's good. All right, I guess we can add outline to these eyes. They're looking a little spaced out right now. Okay, rotate this guy a little bit. See if we can save the profile of this nose stroke. Save it with profile 2. Add it to these eyes. Bump it up. There we go. And that is our My Free Vector Art kitty. And that is the end of part 3 of our pen tool crash course. I really hope you guys enjoyed these videos. I do plan to make more, so if you liked this one, please hit that like button. And if you want to see more, please subscribe. I'm definitely going to be putting more of these up because I think it's a great motivation for me to keep going and keep adding to my website. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks again.